I can do this. Yeah, I can probably do this. Bop. Thanks for liking the live. Thank you. Atheism isn't an explanation for anything. It's a belief claim. Yeah, Mark, do you want to come up? Obviously, I'm saying like the explanatory power, right? Can you even like... Is it even... Am I deist yet? Hey Autumn, can you see the thing? I feel like there's a lot of stuff in the way. I'm not good at the positioning of these prompts yet. You think I would be by now, but I'm not. We got all the wackos as mods. Oh wait, Bart. I thought it was Bert. Barry's no. All the wackos as mods. It's kind of crowded. Oh, okay. Maybe I'll just do one of the old ones. The not God. Boom. Bop. 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 I want to delete this. Get rid of it. Get rid of it. Says you. Can you see this? Bop. Thanks for the follow. Thoughts, opinions on paganism as a religious belief? I mean, paganism, if it's like... I guess I don't know what it all entails because I hear it referenced as like a bunch of like... But if it's just some like nature is kind of powerful... I mean, whatever. I'm interested in talking about like some like omni-property possessing form of God or some like mind that created the universe or something. You get wrecked in every debate. I've never seen you successfully defend veganism. Do you guys want to talk about veganism, Bart? Asking the real questions now? Exactly. I heard you, we kind of got into like a little bit of a comment, like back and forth. I am the zero of the sign I don't understand. I was saying about like B theory and you said, my man. And then you asked me about a block universe. Hey Quad, how's it going? Yeah, but, well, Bart, that means that your statement is like unremarkably true. Like, I've never seen you like stop beating your wife, right? Like, okay. Riemannian zeta function. Riemannian zeta function. Ooh. Oh, but you don't have that. Yeah, that's true. Okay. That is okay. Okay. I kind of got cooked. Jim, how's it going? You can request up if you want, obviously. Hey, yeah, I haven't been on TikTok much at all lately, Quad. I saw you going live. You were doing like a talent show or something. I popped by for like a couple minutes, but I've been great though. How are you? I tried to send a video into the mushroom Discord of like Khan doing a speed run of Darth Dawkins. It was like within 30 seconds Darth Dawkins kicked him because it was just funny. got a minute. Nice. Not God, wouldn't exist without God. Yeah, so, Devil, you can come up if you want. Not God, wouldn't exist without God. I think that means the exact same thing. I think not God is the definition of without God. What are you saying? Come on up. Hey, what's up?
How you doing, man?
I'm doing pretty good. Are you 18? You sound like you're 18,
Yeah,
but...
I'm 35.
Oh, nice. I'm 30.
Nice.
Yeah. You said
No,
not
so like
God,
my,
not
my thought
God.
process on that and what I mean by that is
Yeah.
that I think God in reality is the expansion of all creation and just everything, right? So everybody has their own interpretation of God. And I personally, from my worldview, believe that if you have a connection to it, which is like I would call it source, right? Everything, the very fact God is basically the embodiment of all the religions. Every single one of them, if you look across all denominations, have similarities, right? And for me, what I
Real
believe
quick,
is that like,
can I ask?
yeah,
Yeah, so just how do you define God? Because the way that I'm saying God right here is like some kind of mind that created the universe that has like powerful properties or something.
well, that's quite literally how I see it. Is just the fact of consciousness, what me and you are doing, our expensive, our thought process, and being able to even comprehend the idea of a deity or a god, is that existence itself. So just
So
the reality that you're trying to comprehend what could be God or what God is just living proof of that there is something out there that gives you the ability to comprehend thought like that.
okay, so let's say that do you have kids? Well, let's say that somebody has kids.
I got kids.
Let's say that somebody whose kids are in math class, and they're teaching them that 2 + 2 = 4, and then somebody in the classroom goes like, why doesn't 2 + 2 = 5? And then they go like, hey, why are you questioning this, right? Just the fact that you're even questioning this, like the same logic is going to apply there. Like just because somebody's questioning 2 + 2 = 5, does that mean that in reality that validates the existence of 2 + 2 = 5?
I see where you're coming from, but when I mean, you can go to like the sense of like say whatever that object is, how many objects are within that, right? Like what is the mass of that object? So it could actually be a million, right? It doesn't
Wait,
change the fact that there are two objects.
but you're not trying to fight for like 2 + 2 = something other than 4 right now, though, right?
I'm saying, but in if you looked at it though, like how many cells are within that one object that you're adding up, right? So
We're not adding up objects. We're talking about abstract mathematical language. Like two. I'm not saying 2 apples plus 2 apples = 4 apples, and then you say like, well, how many mitochondria are in there? I'm saying like just 2 + 2 = 5, right? If somebody says that, if somebody questions that it equals 4, does that validate that it equals 5?
no, not at all. I mean, I get where you're coming from,
I
and
would
I
agree.
don't. I'm not.
So
I'm not disputing that, but I
yeah,
just
yeah.
don't really. I don't really see. Just like I was saying, I'm correct. I'm connecting it to what's in like reality, right? So like if you have one and one, those are tangible things that you know that are real, right? If you go and you look at the universe and everything around you, right? Now, do I believe that in a God that is, say, for instance, connected to like a religion, right? Like I said, I don't believe that. I don't believe anybody has the right tap into that to say that their belief or their religion is the true religion. I think that it's something that we're all able to have a connection in with. That's
So
God, right?
yeah.
It's
So okay.
consciousness.
If
It's
you're
living
saying that,
consciousness of
if you're
creation.
saying that, if you're saying God is some ability for us all to connect, right? Okay. Do you think that I disagree that we can connect?
What would you first? I think maybe we should backtrack a little bit. What
Yeah.
do you believe God is? Like, do you don't believe God exists, or
Right. Right. Well, to be fair, I'm interested in answering that question, and I guess like under this prompt, I would be doing a worldview comparison, right? I'm saying like by this prompt, convince me that God has more explanatory power than not God. What I'm offering is you give me something that God can explain that I can't explain through some, position that an atheist could hold.
Gotcha. And that's
Yeah.
why I was saying that God has more power than not God, just based off the fact that we're discussing it. Because if
Yeah,
not
but
God,
we
if not
realize
God
though.
would, because if we were to never have discussed not God, we couldn't discuss God without having
Look,
that.
but
Like, you see
it's
what
going to
I'm
be the
saying? So
same.
like
The same thing's
there's
going
the
to be
power right there.
inversely.
That it was
It's
the
going to
power
be
of creation.
okay.
That's
Yeah.
it.
So
The power of
look. I'll give
creation.
you. I will concede this. Look, if it's true that a mind created the universe, right?
Hmm.
And so basically, if God is real,
Hmm.
then what you would be saying would be correct. We couldn't talk about not God without God, right? If God created the universe, that's going to be true. What's at stake here and what's up for question is, did a mind create the universe, right? And I don't think it did.
Okay. So you think it's just random? So I would take that you believe in evolution.
Do you not?
No.
And are you is your username checking out right now? Or are you just devil's advocating, or do you actually not believe in evolution?
I believe in forms of evolution. I don't believe in the Big Bang Theory. I don't believe that we spawned from nothing. I believe that there was a designer there that put certain things into place to allow for evolution to actually be able to take hold.
Okay, so
I
you
don't
believe
believe
in
that
evolution.
but it all has conscious thought. So I believe that there's a higher power that actually created that to even take place. So whether or not how it got to us being here in the physical form that we are in, it had to come from creation. Even just the
Wait,
simple
wait,
object
wait,
of
wait,
matter
wait. Look,
coming
look,
from
look.
nothing.
I look. There's gonna be a simple. There's gonna be a simple question here, right? And it's gonna be, was the universe created? If so, maybe there was a creator. Maybe there was some like deistic god or something, right? If the universe was not created, we agree that there would be no need for a creator. Do we agree?
Say that again. Sorry.
Yeah, so if the universe was created, maybe the Christian God did it. Maybe all of reality did it. Maybe like the pagans got it right. Maybe the pantheists got it right, right? Maybe the Hindus got it right. Some God could have created it,
What
right?
about the spaghetti monster?
The Pastafarians could have gotten it right. But if the universe was not created, then we agree that if the kind of thing that does creating is a creator, we wouldn't need one of those.
Right. Well, I
Yeah,
think, but
yeah.
I think we agree because, like I said, I don't believe in the normal version of what's God. I think us as humans, we put labels on things because I think we all have that innate need to create a physical object. We don't have the ability to just see the the metaphysical of it, right? So, like I said, you very well may be right. I tend to see that as a form of that, like it did come from something. That's what I consider to be God, right?
Well, when you say it came from something, I don't even take the something there to be a problem. I think came from is the problem. I believe in like a past eternal universe, and I don't see a problem with that. Do you see a problem with that?
Could you elaborate on that?
Yeah, so like every moment of time, would you agree every moment of time that at least that's been recorded has had a time prior?
I think time's infinite. I don't think there's ever been a stop, and that's why I believe that
Wait, 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 wait,
this
wait, wait, wait. There's
consciousness
something very important there.
exceeds time.
Do you think that time is infinitely past, like infinitely into the past?
Yes,
Okay, so nobody created time.
but consciousness, I believe, has just always existed.
So wait, so consciousness is time? What do you mean? Hey, Bill, how's it going? Hope you guys are doing good.
Sorry,
Happy holidays.
someone tried calling me, and you got. Hold on one second.
You're good. You're good.
Sorry, someone tried calling me. You got muted.
Request up, guys, to defend your faith. 1 Peter 3:15, Matthew 6:6, 1 Thessalonians 5:17.
Did you say what you were saying again? You got cut off when you were talking.
Oh yeah. So do you believe, right, that consciousness is time? Because you said that consciousness is eternal, and time is eternal. Are they just the same?
I think we have a construct of time. I think the consciousness that I'm speaking of exceeds anything that we're even able to comprehend with our minds.
Look, I guess just one last try. Like, define God for me in the way that just strictly define it. By God do you mean like all
It's an
knowing, all
active
powerful,
force that
all
resides
good?
and lives through all things.
Huh?
It's an active force or presence, and it's an energy that just goes beyond like the things that we're able to comprehend as humans.
So God's like mitochondria or something? I don't get it. What do you mean? What's the force like? When you say God, do you mean that God's like some like all powerful, all knowing, all good being that created the universe?
You break us down to the very atom of our being, right? Like how the molecular density of what we are, and if you go beyond that, if you look at everything on a cellular level, going outward, everything is connected to. We're all
wait. That's just false, though. Are you talking about physically connected?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so physically nothing is connected, right? Like nothing is physically touching another thing. You know that?
So when you go outside,
wait, I'm the zero of the
your body actually reacts to the ground. If you go outside and you touch the earth, the molecular density
I know, but
in
I'm saying
body
you said if we zoom in on the atomic level, right? Like the quarks.
I'm not a scientist. I'm probably not even using the right term.
Do you know what a neutrino is?
No, I mean I've heard of it. I'm not familiar with the.
Yeah, a neutrino is something that's so small that trillions of them pass through the Earth every second without ever touching an atom. Do you know that?
I didn't.
Okay, yeah. So, like when you do this, nothing is touching. There's like some sense perception of touch, but like, yeah. So like, there's gonna be some like magnetic field. I don't know how it works, right? I'm not a scientist, but like, there's gonna be some resistance to things physically touching, such that you like there's a sensation because your nerves are reacting, right? But like, as far as like everything
connected, what are we getting at?
Connected is just patently false.
Gotcha.
So my biggest question is though, is that like with what we're talking about, right? And with what I mentioned earlier, and how the very power, the explanatory power, just based off of that, if there was a God, right? The power is there over not God because we're talking about it, right? So what is the context of, like, how are you disputing that fact?
Well, first of all,
that you couldn't talk about not God without God. I mean, that's impossible.
Yeah, but you can't. But you agree because, like I granted, let's say God's real, then I agree you couldn't talk about not God without God. But if not God was real, you couldn't talk about God without not God. You understand?
But we wouldn't even be having this discussion.
Look, if no,
that's where the explanatory power comes from.
Listen.
The fact that you're discussing.
Look. I'm saying if you're right, then we couldn't talk about not God without God. Now, grant me that I'm right, and tell me that we can't do the same thing. Right? It just holds true.
Wait, I disagree, and here's why. So also, hello. Saint Anselm's ontological argument. Have you heard of this?
No.
Okay, so Saint Anselm's ontological argument goes something like this. Hopefully I can get this clear and concise. It's something to the effect of there are certain things that are logically valid, and if they are logically valid, then they exist in an imaginary universe. Okay, so like, and you're like an analytical philosopher, so you know what I'm talking about. So like a married bachelor is not logically valid, right?
Right.
So a married
It's
bachelor
not
doesn't.
logically possible, right? Yeah.
Yeah. So it doesn't exist in any imaginable universe.
Zero. Go ahead. Yeah.
Whereas, the source of all realities, the highest, as he calls it, the greatest possible being, is not logically invalid the same way that like a square circle or a married bachelor is. And so if it exists in a hypothetical universe, then because it is the most maximal...
Can I guess?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so if it's hypothetically not contradictory and it's a necessary being, then it exists?
Essentially, yeah, that's slightly differently worded than I would have put it.
But why would I accept that? Like, look. If there exists some, like, red starbursts aren't contradictory, right? You would have to make the argument that God is a necessary being. Why would I accept that God is a necessary being rather than just some objective being, right? Why can God not fail to exist?
Well, because of the maximal greatness and the logical validity of that notion. So
They're,
if we can,
wait, but they're logically valid things, right? That can fail to obtain.
right, but those do obtain in a hypothetical universe.
I understand that, but what I'm saying is like, what about it being maximally great makes it such that okay, maximally great doesn't equal necessary? Why is that true?
Well, we're fathoming a maximally great being in as much as, and now this is the rub, by the way. This is where some people have a problem with this argument, is that they think, maximal greatness isn't well defined enough. I have a personal take on maximal greatness that essentially, in short, is just like volume. But nonetheless, if part of its maximal greatness we can concede is being the like center of realities, and that holds to be true in a reality, hypothetical reality, then it holds to be true in realities, including the one that we are in.
Why? So what I want to ask is why would I accept that? But I thought of a better question, which is why do you accept that?
Well, I mean, I don't know. It seems to hold for me. We're both just kind of throwing our hands up now.
So like, what about? So let me. What are the essential properties of a maximally great being?
Right. So that is the rub, like I said. Now, I consider it this way, and this is, I'm not putting any words into Saint Anselm's mouth, but when I think of maximally great, I think of like, okay, so you know how humans can only see a certain bandwidth from like infrared to ultraviolet and nothing beyond that, or rather, those are the borders. You can't see infrared, you can't see ultraviolet.
I think Glock's in here. I've been waiting, but maybe she wants to talk later. Yeah, Glock, if you want to request up, we can have that conversation. I have a conversation scheduled, but it depends on if she wants to have it or not. I was going to talk about FLO with some pro-lifer, but famous pro-lifer or whatever. But yeah, anyway, keep going. So you were saying that not to throw shade on whoever the philosopher was that came up with it, but okay, that's fine.
That a way that I perceive of or consider maximal greatness or greatness in this context is something like volume. And a way to think about it is like, how we can only see what is between ultraviolet and infrared on the light spectrum, for example, right? So that's like the volume of visible light that we are able to comprehend, perceive, participate in sensorily, whatever. And so maybe a way of considering a maximally great being is totally boundless in its perceptive capacities in that fashion. That's one way of considering it, which seems bound up to me if it's all perceiving, that it would also be, in order to have those faculties all knowing, in order to have those faculties, et cetera, it's a cascading.
So why if something has the ability to experience every frequency of light?
Well, light was an example. I don't mean light.
I understand that. I understand that. Right. But why if something has some, let's say like unlimited actualized potential, why does that mean that it's necessary? Why doesn't that just hold true in this universe and not some other possible world?
So it sounds like those are. We have two questions, and I think one of them is kind of answerable, or rather answered in the ontological argument already, and then the other one is a little bit different, which is so. You're saying what constitutes a maximally great being? Okay, fair enough. We can have a longer conversation about that. But as far as like, okay, why does that render out into this one? Is well, because if we take part of the notion of maximal greatness to mean the creator of realities, and that maximally great being who can create all realities, who is the first cause, right? That notion, who is the first cause, is true of the first cause of a hypothetical reality, and is for all realities as part of its maximal greatness, then that means all realities, including the actual one.
Yeah, but so if part of this thing's essential properties is that it's a first cause, we can just quickly get back on track to what Devil's Advocate and I were talking about, which is like, if the thing that we're experiencing was caused, we might need a being like that. But if it wasn't, then we don't need any being like that, whether he's necessary or not. right? And
Can I
in
interject
fact,
something?
yeah, go ahead.
After you finish your thought.
No, you're good.
So one of the things that I have to ask is why is it then that I think the vast majority, I mean, I think there are individuals who don't, but why is it that humans as a whole tend to have the inclination to find something that's beyond what we know, right? So what is
Yeah,
it, what is
yeah.
it, what is
So
it that
look,
mankind's yearning for? If that wasn't something that was designed into our biology and into who we are, say for instance the birds, what is the intelligent design that something made that happen,
look.
right? What is
So
it that
so
not do
a
that?
friend of mine gave me this analogy, right? And hopefully this gets back around to him, so he knows that he influenced me to make this argument. But like, if
If they
we're
ask, don't say it came from him. Just kidding.
yeah, exactly. If anybody asks, I made this fucking argument. No, but let's imagine an intelligent designer, right? Let's say that they're going to build like a 1970s muscle car, right? They wouldn't go about it in some kind of like Rube Goldberg kind of way where they started with a Model T, right? And then changed the wheels to triangles, and that one didn't win the race. So they changed the wheels to squares, and that didn't win the race. So they changed the wheels to circles. That one won the race. So now let's make the steering wheel able to be, manipulated from all four seats. That one didn't win the race. Okay, now let's keep making small changes to this until we get to a 1970s muscle car, right? And that is the force that we see. I know that I'm just now remembering that you're an evolution denier. So that's
I think he came around on that. I don't think that's quite accurate.
I don't
If you
disagree.
grant- if you
I
grant
just
that
don't
God-
believe that there's not a source of consciousness behind
if
it.
you grant that God did evolution, right? Then this like sense of the designer isn't going to be some like eloquent like like the same way Jesus was a carpenter, where he can make some beautifully sculpted bassinet or whatever carpenters did back then. There's not going to be some like sophisticated level of design that's going on. It's just going to be like, if the goal is sentience, right? It seems like whoever made the sentience took a really circuitous route to get there, right?
But that's the rub there, is that if the goal is sentience, we're making an assumption that it's like making a car, because the goal of a car is, to have a roadworthy commercial vehicle.
I'm not assuming. Like, look, when people say intelligent design because look how great we are. Okay, if we're great, then it seems like the person who made us this great, maybe it's not the end goal, but the person who made us right here, right now, the way that we are, right? It doesn't seem like they were very systematic in their approach, right? Like, imagine the goal is to get a tennis ball through the woods, right? And you can imagine somebody building like some cannon that shoots 1,000 tennis balls. Is one of them going to make it through the forest? Yeah, probably.
Right. Can I reframe?
But if you just took a tennis ball and walked through the forest and dropped on the other side, that would be a much more linear way. And so It doesn't seem like the way that our intelligent design operates is like the second way, right? It seems like it operates the first way, where it just explodes random traits, and whichever ones survive long enough to have children, those ones live on, right?
For sure.
What made humankind the crown of evolution, right? Why aren't there other sentient forms that walk around that also developed a higher level of consciousness?
I think there are, right?
Why did apes stop where they
I
are?
think
right?
I think apes have sentience. I think cows have sentience. I think pigs have sentience. I think dogs have sentience, right? There's going to be something that it's like to be a dog.
Yeah, of course.
But they also, all these other things that you just mentioned, all capped out at not being able to communicate.
Well,
with
we
anything
capped
other
out
than
also.
I'd like to answer what you were getting at.
Yeah, go ahead.
If that's fine. So I just want to reframe here. So it's like, yes, definitely, if the goal is to have if humans as we are now as the thing, or a car that is roadworthy being the thing, then a perfect, mind would just go, oh, there's the thing, snap the fingers and then go, right? But if the goal is something like Tchaikovsky's Fifth, then you want to experience the second after the first, the third after the second. Music or art of most any linear time-based durational thing is a good, I think, metaphor here, because it's not like good music is the one that happens to hit this note fastest or is the loudest immediately or finally reaches its crescendo right away. If the point of it is experiential and art or whatever, and then part of the artistry is making it take a long time, then that's experiencing a story.
But to say that there's a designer in one case, right? Like, it seems like what people say is not that it took a long time for us to get here. It's like, look at what we are. Right? It's not like people are like saying like some poetically robust thing about like evolution is like music and the species that died off are just the wrong.
Exactly, but I'm saying that.
Oh, okay. I thought you were saying some like. It seemed like a lot of poetry going on. Sorry.
It is a lot of poetry going on, but that's the thing is that I think that something closer to go here for a second. I think that this is a flaw in looking at. You're not going to like this. I'm letting you know. I think that this is a flaw in using rigidly, strictly analytical philosophy when looking at something like God, and that something more like a Greek or continental style that has a little bit of that intuitive and poetic sense to it is a little bit easier, because when we're looking at things that are of
but Pell, like why does a poetic God have more explanatory power than my not God world? Why? How?
I mean, I don't know. I think Anselm's ontological argument is a good spot. You didn't like it last time, but also when again, and I'm going to put this addendum so that we don't get lost. But also when we're looking at transcendent things of nature, things that are not bound by process, then within that framing and with that addendum, fine tuning is another one. These are, those are two solid spots. Those are two that I like.
Look, there's also this notion, like, why is the universe finely tuned enough for us to be sentient, but not finely tuned enough to where like no evil exists or something? Like, it seems like fine tuning that you're just going to run into this arbitrary limit of like, why couldn't why couldn't it have been tuned even more fine?
Well, it's making the assumption that evil should not exist.
We don't want to go. Okay, well, maybe I do want to run that reduction on you because my worldview can account for why there's evil and yours can't.
Mine can. Mine does. We had that conversation. I think it accounts for it just fine.
But it doesn't, because your worldview doesn't include evil.
Remember earlier we said that we're...
Oh, okay. But you know what I mean. You know what I mean.
Yeah, I know what you mean, and you're equivocating on evil, and that's just to get out of a socially uncomfortable situation.
It's not. It's a genuine metaphysical and ontological belief.
I think that's kind of what we came to earlier, right? Is that we said that we're quite literally at a stalemate.
I don't. But you understand that.
You can't explain why your explanatory power of not God is more than so of God.
You know what my trump card is, though.
So
you know what my trump card is.
Wouldn't that be that devil's advocate? Wouldn't that mean that more likely that we're actually just in the matrix?
No.
And that there's an outer force that
can't
you die that you actually will experience.
No.
Actual reality of what is on the outside.
You know why? Want to know why?
Why?
Yeah, because all I need to do to win is be equal. You guys need to win to win. If my not God worldview has equal explanatory power, it's going to win on parsimony. You guys have the burden to win. I have the burden to tie.
Why?
Because if we say that a natural explanation can explain these phenomena, and you say a natural explanation can explain these phenomena, plus an all-good, all-knowing, all-powerful, perfectly efficacious best friend that wants to have a relationship with me that created the universe that doomed us to fall, that's just going to be...
The only reason that we tie is off of your inability to agree. But the very existence of God...
To agree to your lack of evidence, sir? How would we agree to something that you obviously are proposing?
In the minds of millions. That's my evidence of God.
Look, well, can you prove that my spaghetti monster doesn't exist? Right? I believe in the flying spaghetti monster. Can you prove he doesn't exist?
No. So the burden of proof thing.
Wait, one second.
Okay. I thought we were on that. Sure.
No, you're good. So, look. Is many people holding the same opinion evidence for ontological reality?
No, it's not.
Well, more
Devils,
so,
do you
let's say
agree?
not just the connection between all these individuals, but say for instance like I think the panel mentioned it a little bit earlier, the metaphysical and the things of the world, the unexplained phenomenons that
Yeah, I will give
mankind
you that. I think too
experiences,
that there is a
and those
degree to which
connections with something that's outside of what we can comprehend.
there is a degree to which, if
Something,
you're
right?
talking about like, if you're talking specifically about, for example, like qualitative parallels between like mystical realities experienced by folks across cultures and that sort of thing, okay, then there's some degree of it. But as far as does just having an opinion be popular mean that it's right?
Wait,
No.
why?
So that's what I was talking about
Wait,
earlier.
why
right?
the first one,
That's
though?
why the first
Why the
comment
first
that I
one?
said was, I said
Wait.
that I believe that a living God lives and is existent between all gods and religions across the world. Humankind has the ability.
Okay, maybe
And they all have experiences that all the
I think my like I think I'm not able to like engage with this in the level that you guys want anymore. So I'm gonna move on, but definitely we can talk about this again. Okay, I love you.
Sure.
It's a fun
Love you too.
conversation.
Bye.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah. Bye, pal. Love you. What's up, Bill?
What's up, man? How you doing?
Hey, it's been a long time since we've spoken.
Yeah, and like I kind of feel bad because you came up and on our platform and talked, and like I have all the excuses. I'm a dad. I'm busy and all that stuff.
Oh, you don't owe me a conversation. You guys were like one of my first conversations ever on TikTok, so I just like you guys hold a special like place, I guess.
Yeah, I honestly thought you were like J Mike or Jim was talking to you.
Well, that's gonna be anyway.
They're cool guys. I like them.
So, do you think that God has more explanatory power than not God?
Yeah, and I would just go to the Kalam and talk about the Kalam.
Okay, yeah, I love that. And also, I'm already breathing a sigh of relief that we're not talking about some like idiosyncratic definition of God as some like unifying force between all individuals. Oh, it's such a relief to talk about the Christian God.
I know. I was
Okay.
gonna come up and talk to you guys earlier, and you're talking to that Corey guy, but man, I couldn't do it. Like I was like, I'll talk to you if that Corey guy is gone, but oh man, I
Oh,
could
the Corey 3.14?
not. guy, man.
Yeah, he wasn't tracking. But yeah. So the
He thinks
Kalam.
that's bad. Wait till you talk to Corey.15.
Yeah, or Corey Peterson.
Oh,
That guy's also. I'm just kidding. So the Kalam, I take issue with the first premise of the Kalam. Actually,
Yeah,
I think that like begins to exist, has a cause, right?
yeah, and that would kind of be my first question to you is like, do you hold to the eternal, like the universe is eternal, or do you hold to
Yeah.
it came from nothing?
Yeah, I hold to like a past eternal universe. Yeah, because like I think that you would agree that like what is it uniformity of nature? Do you accept that?
Sorry, the what?
Do you accept the uniformity of nature?
Yeah. And I
Okay.
just want to apologize. I'm sitting here. My son's sitting with me. He's playing a game and stuff, so that's why.
Yeah, that's fine. You're fine. I think you were playing Fortnite last time we talked, but
Yeah. Right now, I was playing Rainbow Six Siege. So
oh, nice.
Practice.
So if you agree that with the uniformity of nature, and do you agree that like the causal principle is going to be something that happens in nature?
do I believe that the causal power is going to be something within
The
nature?
causal like cause and effect, is that part of nature? Like the law?
Yeah, there are causes to
Yeah.
effects in nature.
Yeah. Okay, so my whole thing about my worldview, where I think that the universe is past eternal, right, is that I think that due to the uniformity of nature, for any moment that's ever been recorded, there's been a moment prior, right? And if you were to ask me, starting from now, going into the past, when does that reliable mechanism become unreliable? Because I believe that there's uniformity in nature, I would say that I don't know. And therefore, I don't have a good reason to think that it ever does break down.
Yeah, and I was listening to you talk to somebody a couple days ago, I think, and that was kind of why I wanted to talk to you about this. Is like, so I would just bring up just like what are your thoughts because I think you understand, like, the conversation we're gonna have is gonna be kind of different. Like, I'm not gonna be trying to like really like press you, and if you show me something where I'm inconsistent, I'm gonna honestly walk away and say I need to look more into that. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah. Same with me. Same with me.
Yeah. That's why I like talking to you. But like with the time problem, right? Like, you're familiar with the like I won't even use the Grim Reaper thing. I think that's like too heady. But like if I'm at this point and I'm gonna get to that point, right? But that point is an eternal distance away from me. So if I get halfway there,
Yeah. But
and then if I get
it's like
halfway there
the
from
Flash
there,
paradox, right? You can
Right.
convince somebody that the Flash would lose in a race because he has to get halfway there, and then he has to get a quarter of the way there, and then he has to get an eighth of the way there, like that kind of thing.
Right, and he'll never actually reach the point if it's an eternal. Right.
Yes. So, look, the point about like a past eternal universe is like, I'm not saying that you can complete an infinite set. I'm saying that because we're in the present. Would you agree?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So it doesn't matter how long the past eternal universe is. It's always going to be a finite amount of time away from today, right? So there's no problem with finishing that because we're in the present right now, and we can assume tomorrow is going to happen, right? So it's so it's just going to be the case that no matter how long the past stretches, it's always going to be a finite number of days away from today.
Yeah, I get you, and I just see that as kind of begging the question, isn't that?
Are we ever? I'm sorry. Are we ever in the present? Because it vanishes quickly. Gone.
I mean, a theory of time holds to
You're not in
presentism,
the
right?
present.
I'm
Gone
a
already.
theorist.
Muted. I'm just kidding.
We're present. Goodbye. It's already gone.
And the
You
new
know,
present is here.
Ask me what time it is. You want to know what time it is now, or when you ask me?
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Or are you on Android or iPhone? Because there'll be a 15-second difference.
Oh, Dan, do you have an iPhone or a good phone?
A good phone.
Yeah, I have a good phone too.
We live in a classless society. Everyone is judged based off their.
So, Bill, it's not. I don't think it's begging the question as much as it's like, why do I have good reason to think that mechanism would become unreliable?
Well, it's just it would be. So it's.
Thanks, Dick. Love you.
That time is that time is eternal in the past, but then it's saying that we can get to this present moment because we're in this present moment. So it's kind of just a circular reasoning in that we're in this present moment, so therefore we can use this present moment to determine that there's a finite set or a finite set of time between that point and this point, if that makes sense.
And would you agree that like any deductive argument like is going to be circular at some point?
Not any deductive argument, no. I mean, of course, it's based on another premise. Like, every conclusion is a premise to another argument, and every premise to an argument is a conclusion from another argument. So in that way, I see what you're saying, but then that would just go to I reject infinite regression, and I stand on like agency being the cause.
So my question, I guess, would be like, given that you hold to the uniformity of nature, right? What reason would you give? What reason would you give to say that at some point, every time t is going to have a time t minus 1 that is prior to it? What reason would you give to say that mechanism is ever going to become unreliable? Hey, Whit.
Run that by me one more time, sorry.
Yeah, so for we've agreed that for every time t, there's a time t minus 1 that's preceded it.
Right.
So my question to you is, since you hold that there's uniformity in nature, what reason do you have to say that for any time t, this time t minus 1 preceding it, that mechanism is going to become unreliable?
Well, I wouldn't say so much as it would become unreliable. I would just say that, again, there wouldn't be an infinite regression. There would be, at some point, a beginning, and our observation would point to that, like the red shift, right? Like, look at Albert Einstein, right? One of the smartest guys who ever lived, but when he saw the red shift, it changed his mind about, like, an eternal past. Right?
Yeah, but But the redshift is going to be pointing to a beginning of expansion, not a beginning simplicator.
Right, which I look at, and we could go there as like kicking the can down the road, right? Like, because now where did that come from?
Yeah, but this like ever you always being able to ask the question, well, where did that come from? I think is like in an intuition pump of an infinite regress. Why would you think otherwise?
Well, I think it just stands to reason that if you say that this was caused by this other thing, that it would stand to reason to say, well, what caused this other thing? Now, the only explanation that you could give for this thing not being caused is that it is necessary for the causation of everything else.
Yeah, but how? Okay, you remember when you said that? When I said that we're in the present moment, so we had to get here somehow. You said that was begging the question.
In a way, yeah.
Yeah. So how is you saying? Well, there had to be a beginning, so why can't it be God? Isn't that also begging the question?
Well, I'm not saying there had to be a beginning, so why not God? I'm just saying from our observation, from our best observations, it seems that there was a beginning.
I would say, right, that not only does science not support that there was a beginning, the jury's actually still out on that. Like there's no consensus on. There's a consensus that there was a beginning to the expansion, but there was a state before like Planck time or whatever the physicists call it, right? It's just maybe like. Yeah, and also like let's say that there's an infinite set of past events that does have a beginning, right? There's no problem with that either, right? Because there can be infinite sets with a beginning and no end, and there can be infinite sets with an ending but no beginning, right? And there can be infinite sets with a beginning and an ending, right?
Dad, this isn't training.
Right, I get you say that, but like if we look at like again with the redshift example, if we observe through our observation tools that we have, then it seems logical. It may seem logical also for the inverse, but it is at least logical to believe that there was a beginning, and that epistemologically there's no more value in believing that there was a beginning than believing that there was not a beginning that was eternal, if that makes sense.
So there's something that you said about like epistemic access to like whether or not there's a beginning, and I want you to run that by me one more time because I was peeling a sticker off this cute little cup. Sorry.
No, you're good. I'm sorry. Yeah. So it's like if you hold to the position that time, or that it did not have, there was no beginning, that it was eternal, then by our observation and what we can observe, and granting some of the smartest minds who have ever lived among us their observations of the information in the data, it is just as reasonable to conclude that there was a beginning as it is to conclude that there was not a beginning, but it was always eternal. It's like an epistemic parity. Like epistemologically, there's no more value in one claim than the other, if that makes sense.
Yeah, but the redshift, if you're talking about like cosmic microwave background, right? That's just to say that there was a beginning to the
expansion.
the red shifting. There's a beginning to that, not a beginning to all of space time. I don't like.
There is value in saying that there is no beginning, because it gets away from the issue of saying that there is a beginning to time, right?
Yeah.
The notion that there is the notion that time has a
saying
beginning is kind of like, it's kind of funky.
Yeah.
Or that there was like a space before space.
What I'm saying is that, so you guys understand philosophy. What I'm saying in philosophical terms is there is no more cash value to the claim that there is no beginning but an eternal past than there is in claiming that there is a beginning and that everything began at a certain point.
Yeah,
based
but I
on
don't know that I accept that. Like, I don't know
Well,
that
I
there
get
is
that.
more.
I
I don't know that
understand
there
that.
is.
Jack, one second.
I understand that
Sorry.
you don't
No, you're
like.
good.
You probably won't agree with that, but I'm just clarifying my position. That I'm not saying one is more valuable than the other. What I'm doing is pointing out the epistemic parity that neither is more valuable than the other.
Yeah. So wait, Apostle, are you here to talk about FLO?
I'm sorry, my queen invited me here because someone had questions about flow, I guess.
Yeah, I did. Wait, I have one last question, then I can talk to you. Okay. So,
Yeah, yeah,
Bill,
yeah.
Bill, would you agree with what I was saying earlier about like all I have to do as an atheist is get you to agree that not God and God have equal explanatory power? If I can get a tie, I win, right?
Yeah, absolutely,
Yeah, because it'll be
I
I'll win
would
on
give that to
parsimony.
you. I
Yeah,
would give
exactly.
that to you because I understand these things. I understand how it works, and I don't know if you saw it, but I asked in the comments, and I'm curious. Have you ever seen the movie Thank You for Smoking?
I saw that you commented that, but I haven't seen it, so I didn't understand what it was.
You should
I
check it out.
love
It's
the
really
movie.
good. Like the guy, he works for like tobacco company, and
He's a
uh,
lobbyist, yeah.
he's a lobbyist, but he makes so many good points about like debating. And one of the points he's teaching his son. He's talking to his son, and he
Mhm.
says, like, if you tell me that chocolate ice cream is the best flavor of ice cream, it is the end all be all of the flavors of ice cream, then what you've done is you've set it up so that I don't have to prove that another flavor of ice cream is better than chocolate. All I need to do is point out that chocolate cannot be the best flavor of ice cream, and then I win. And so he's
Oh,
explaining it to his
right.
son.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So it's like when Christians do like Christianity is true because of the contrary. The contrary is impossible, right? Not only is that just restating the claim, but now you're saying that like, give me any worldview, I'll show that there's a contradiction, and then boom, Christianity is true. It's like no, no, no. You're saying that every worldview has a contradiction, right?
Isn't there a name for that
Well,
type
I
of
would say
argument?
every worldview except for like biblical Christianity, like what is actually true, right? So there is an
Yeah,
absolute truth that I would hold to, and that could be a conversation for another time. I know you want to move on,
Isn't that
yeah,
type
but I
of
yeah.
would hold
argument?
to
I
that.
really wanted to run my
Thanks,
pro-choice
bro.
stance against a like somebody who's good at flow for a long time. So I appreciate you
Yeah,
being up here. I love you, Bill. See you later, man.
yeah, I love you, man.
Isn't that a type of argument when you argue for what is it? It's like argue from it's like when you disprove all of their worldviews.
The impossibility of the
Okay.
contrary is that, but it's like
Oh, okay.
a lot of like Christian debaters are bad debaters, so they'll say like, the contrary is impossible. See, give me a worldview, and it's like, okay, let's say I give you a worldview and you prove that it's impossible. You've done nothing to substantiate that Christianity is true because there are just infinitely many worldviews you could adopt, right? And you
Yeah.
have to prove them all. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I don't I mean, I'm a Christian, but I don't argue. I really should get into metaphysics, but I've been putting it off. And I just started to get into modality. I'm just like, I'm already don't want to do this.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, okay, wait. I'm actually excited. Okay, one second. So I can change the Well, I guess whatever. I'll change the background and then we can get it.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. Is that the
Vanilla sugar.
the vanilla sugar cookie one? Nice. Okay, let me just bop bop beat up.
Or getting some other cookie. I don't know.
Hmm.
Someone in the comments is asking, "What's flow?"
FLO, future like hours.
Yeah.
Essentially.
Okay. So,
This AI.
hmm?
This AI.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm thinking about doing a troll live soon where it's like AI should take over real artists. Change my mind.
Okay, bro.
I'm just kidding.
Terrific.
So
I don't think that's nice.
Okay, bro.
You're on the wrong side. That's where I've been.
Wow,
sorry.
very kind.
You may upset someone.
Yeah, so yeah, so if Glock sent you to talk about flow, I'm down to talk about flow. So I'm pro-choice, and my pro-choice is going to be some antinatalism mixed with a little bit of threshold deontology, mixed with I'm vegan, so I value sentience. So let's
I'm
get it.
vegan. No, I'm not making fun of you. I just
You don't eat omelets, do you?
No. Well, I eat omelets, just vegan ones.
Oh, now you've totally
veganism, by the way. I
confused me.
think we should all be vegan.
So yeah, let's get into it.
It's question 1 here. Wait, have you, just be clear, have you read the paper?
The paper on I didn't know there was a paper on FLO.
Oh, yeah, yeah. It's, do you know the person who came up with FLO?
No, I don't.
She was an ant.
His name is Don Marquis, or Donald. Full name is Donald. So Don Marquis, adopted it from a certain view and philosophy of death, and that view was, like, it's wrong, the wrongness of unaliving someone. Wait, can we? No, I think we still have to say unalive. The wrongness of unaliving an individual comes from the fact that we're depriving it, we're taking away some kind of experience, whether it be future or present. And they're saying this is what makes like the unaliving wrong. And Don Marquis kind of adopted that philosophy of that view and philosophy of death into an argument for abortion. And what she says, abortion is wrong because it deprives the individual, being a fetus, of a future like ours, and this provides the harm being done. And then it would depend on the harm account. For example, like a counterfactual kind of harm would give reasoning to the FLO account as well. But
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, so like, well, I guess like future like ours. Why is it just baked in that that the future is like overwhelmingly going to be a positive experience?
Oh, no, no, no. It's not exactly optimistic. It just justifies that if there's a probability of future human experience, then it would justify it. I mean, you can also turn this into like a veganism argument too.
Yeah. So, well, I would say that like what about like, because in my view, like like there's some moral positions like you're gonna just keep to yourself and like I don't know, maybe judge other people for, but not really care if people adopt your view. And there are going to be some moral positions like pro life for you where it's like you're going to be motivated to get people to agree with you, right?
Yeah.
So I'm an antinatalist in the first sense where I'm not going to have children, but I can understand if people like deliberate and they think they have good reasons to have children, whatever. I just think that like if somebody's going to have like a procedure for a baby in utero for some financial reason, I feel like a lot of these people aren't going to be like well versed in philosophy or they're not going to be. Which Glock? We're talking about FLO right now.
No, I mean, okay. Sorry. Wait, I was about to respond to the last part, but sorry, what did you say right before that?
Yeah. So what I'm saying is like I don't think a lot of people getting these procedures done are going to be people who are well versed in philosophy. So if I could like send a text message to like I don't know 16-year-old expected mothers, right? Hey, there's this concept in philosophy called antinatalism where it's like it's not really a done deal whether bringing a being into existence without its consent when it has the ability to experience suffering is there's deliberation on whether that's good or not. I think that might.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I mean, like, when it comes to positions, I think FLO. I mean, if this answers your like question or confusion or whatever you have, so with FLO, I think it actually gives a good explanation. I don't think anyone has to be well versed in philosophy. Like, you could like if this person, 16-year-old, 18-year-old, whatever, plans to get an abortion at some point, and like they like text you and someone says something like, "Oh, I want to get an abortion. What do you think?" And like you're pro-life, and you hold FLO. I think there's a good explanation there without having to use big words like prima facie or serious paribus. Like you can explain something like like what about the fate? Like what about the baby's future? Like you had future, etc. Like something like that. I think it's easy to explain it.
Yeah, but I guess like from an internal critique, like I'm like somebody who thinks that bringing a being into existence without their consent is not good. Like
I'm not sure how you can gain their consent or not gain their consent.
Yeah, no, I agree. Like it's like just like when you eat, you can't consent to digesting, right?
Yeah, I don't think.
Like if you eat a chicken for lunch and then you have chicken for dinner, and you wonder, did they know each other?
Well, no, I'm just saying I don't think consent is relevant here.
I would say that consent is relevant for me because I value the mother's ability to withdraw consent from being pregnant more than I value the experience of like a zygote, like right. And there's even going to be some sentience threshold where I think that the mother's sentience is more valuable.
The mother's sentience is more valuable. Like, are you just saying it's more valuable than the future principles?
more valuable than the current sentience of the baby in utero.
How so?
Well, just because I mean, like I think that a 30-year-old has more sentience than a 1-year-old or something, right? And
So
that's
does this
just
make a does this mean like one ought to have more considerations than the other?
yeah, maybe ought is yeah. I think that I would just consider the person like more valuable because I think that life begins at conception, but I don't think that a life worth living begins at conception.
Life worth the living doesn't. Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
Unless of course you celebrate your conception day, and you know.
I
Yeah.
don't think it matters whether you celebrate a conception today or not.
Well,
It
no
doesn't
one
really
does.
matter.
Obviously, they're not on the census. No one's getting dependent money for
Also, he's being silly.
their eggs. You know.
Yeah. So Apostle, what's
Otherwise, freeze them
what is like
because you can freeze an embryo and it's completely fine. But as soon as you put a baby in the freezer, poof, there it goes.
yeah. So Apostle,
I can't.
what like from an internal critique of an antinatalist view like would motivate them to like because a future like ours is exactly what they're weighing negatively in favor of. They're saying like if I can't say that this being is going to have a net positive experience, I'm just rolling the dice on whether the experience will be worthwhile for this creature. So I'd rather keep them from experiencing. Much like in the vegan case, right? If I could push a button and everybody would go vegan tomorrow, yeah, a lot of cows wouldn't exist. But I'd rather the cows not exist than exist and suffer.
Wait. So okay, just be clear.
Yeah.
Like fundamental on like the harms being done. So like, just be clear. I want to be clear what's going on. Do you take that the harm the harm of suffering being done throughout the life that it could have had the abortion not occurred is worse than the immediate harm being done to that occurs at their death, which would be like the deprivation?
Run that by me one more time.
Are you saying the harm of the suffering during the life that they would have had the abortion not occurred is greater than the harm that immediately happens to death as an abortion? Are you saying that type of thing? Like it would just be
Yes.
harm reduction?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. I'm not sure how to respond to this exactly.
That's fine.
Because
I'm not trying to get
Yeah.
you, or I'm not trying for you to get me. I'm just
Yeah.
I wanted to talk to somebody who was knowledgeable about it.
Yeah,
I've
like
got
I would
I've got a
just
question.
Go ahead.
yeah, go ahead.
Well, the fact that the quality of life of the individual, if they were to go on to be born, being fundamentally unknowable from any current point in time, why should you prioritize that potentiality over the current existence and current like consideration of another person, like the mother
Sorry.
and her desire to no longer be pregnant?
Well, I mean, to be fair, I don't think the amount of harm the mother goes through during pregnancy is greater than the immediate harm done through abortion.
So but like your
So I
okay.
think the potentiality justifies where the harm comes from, what the harm is, and then
Well, that's why I'm asking. Like, why should I prioritize like this potentiality?
well, what do you mean?
Well, like
Like,
you're
you
asking,
saying
so like you're saying
why
like
are we
this,
defining?
this elimination of like zygote or cellular life, right? Like that doesn't have like this
I mean,
conscious
I never made
experience.
any claims about the value of zygotes. Just to be clear.
I know. These are my words, not yours. I'm asking like this value of like cellular life or like zygote, a non-conscious experience. Why, just because it has the potentiality to like go on and have a conscious experience, why should I prioritize? And this is a genuine question I'm asking. This isn't a gotcha. Why should I prioritize that over the current conscious experience of the carrier, the mother? Right?
Well, it's not making an exact claim.
Hey, Glock.
I would.
Hi.
Oh, hi, Queen.
Hey, Apostle.
Yeah, I heard that you're like the god flow runner. So
Yeah,
That is
Queen.
not
Queen is the high up
true.
there. She's the highest.
people that
As long
I
as the
fuck with
highest.
who are vegan say that they like Glock and Glock likes flow, so they like flow. So I want to
Oh,
talk
who
to
are
you.
those people? Like Amdir?
Yeah, your GF mob people like that. Yeah.
Oh, I don't. To be honest, I don't really. I feel like I don't seriously debate anymore. I'm working on a paper right now, but I can chat for like a little bit.
Yeah, but well, the main contention, right, that it seems like Apostle at least is having some trouble like pushing back on, and I'm not trying to go for gotchas, and I don't want to be got, right. I'm just saying that like from an internal critique, what would motivate somebody who's an antinatalist to care about a future like ours? If a future like ours is exactly what they are deliberating against.
Yeah, if you have antinatalist intuitions, I'm not sure you will be motivated by the view, just realistically. I don't have those sort of intuitions.
Yeah, I don't have them in such a way that like I want like other people to agree with me. I just have them in such a way that like I think that a lot of people who go through abortion procedures don't know that that's even a possibility to deliberate about, right? But if they were, if instead of having a baby, they thought about it as like rolling the dice over whether this being is going to have a net positive or net negative experience, I think it would take a lot of the moral weight off of people who go through that procedure or something.
Yeah, I do think the general population doesn't know shit about ethics. So they probably don't deliberate about, oh, is the fetus a person or can it be meaningfully harmed or something like that? I mean, yeah, people just get abortions. But I think at least among ethicists, the FLO argument is interesting for a couple of reasons. You're not committed to certain controversial metaphysical commitments like animalism or the soul theory or something like that other pro-lifers typically posit.
Yeah.
It's a view in the harm of death. So it's interesting in that way. But to those antinatalist intuitions, it might not have explanatory advantage over those specifically.
Yeah,
So,
I mean, like,
and the parallel I was drawing is that, like, just like a vegan, like, if I could press a button and the whole world would go vegan, I would. And yeah, that would mean a lot of cows wouldn't exist. Most cows wouldn't exist, but I'd rather them not exist than them exist and be harmed. And so that case, I think, is directly analogous to, like, if I don't know whether a being is going to have a net positive experience and I have the ability to keep them from experiencing, why not just withdraw consent from being pregnant?
Yeah, if it were the case that humans lived in factory farms and lived the lives that cows and pigs are living, then I think abortion would be permissible. I mean, please save those people, right? It's kind of like just being born in, Nazi Germany. But like, so in that case, I mean, that's definitely not a future like mine in any sense.
Oh, yeah, okay. It's like future like theirs for sure, but future like mine, you're
Yeah,
good.
like, I mean, it's just not what it means to me to live the type of life that I live. And I know that sounds vague at first, but
I would just say there's no
Can I ask
positive experience at
can I
that
ask a
point.
question about that? So then, like any person that is sufficiently convinced that like the future is going to be a deleterious state from like the one that you currently experience, right? Like, say you're convinced of like the outbreak of like I don't know, famine, war, disease, whatever, right? Like this is a genuine anxiety you
If you think the
possess.
rapture is happening soon,
Yeah, like if you think the rapture is going to occur, whatever, right? Like,
I hope
wouldn't
so.
you be motivated to prevent any pregnancy?
you would. I think you would be motivated. That's not really what FLO's committed to. It's more committed to saying, if we had this knowledge, would that person in question be harmed or the entity be harmed, considering that's going to probabilistically happen in the future? But I'll just say that you do have motivations. Yeah.
and then think you had a question.
No, I didn't really have a question. I was actually just listening. It's an interesting perspective. I was just agreeing with somebody in the comments about something you were saying.
Wait, you're GF. I'm talking to the exact person that you recommended.
Is
so
she
thank you.
here?
Yeah,
Oh
yeah,
my
she just
God.
joined.
Hi, Star.
Yeah,
Like
so,
Queen is just like objectively like the best debater. I think this is just objectively.
Star is. I love Star.
No,
what kind of like reductios, like, I guess if you're saying that like somebody with antinatalist views, what would you say to like dissuade somebody from antinatalism?
I don't know. So I don't know that I have any, because you're not my primary target. My primary, the most of the people that I talk to take a plethora of views that talk about the fetus having substantial moral value at a certain point in utero because they're sentient or conscious, and then the handful of people that discuss autonomy considerations and how that overrides the fetus moral worth. So you're definitely the minority. I don't know if I have any motivations.
I mean, yeah, so I would say that like I think that just like people who, like, if you're pro-life for biblical reasons, right? It's just going to be motivating for people not to give your view like proper consideration or something if they're not religious, right? And that's
I mean,
what
like,
you're saying.
yeah,
Well,
like
what's wrong with just minding your own business? And
it's so real. Like,
because
that's
when
so
it comes down to it, it doesn't matter if it's legal or not. It's going to happen. And
that's exactly what I'm saying.
Yeah, what needs to happen is at least it's going to be medically safe.
Dog, just let them talk.
It's still going to happen. So whether or not there's a wire hanger or a set of steps involved is irrelevant to the situation. It's going to happen.
Exactly, Quad. That's exactly what I'm saying.
So I think the another reason that maybe sets me apart from other pro-choicers is I don't care about the moral aspect. I I can well as far as like not fighting for it. I care about fighting for it to be legal because as long as it's legal, people can like disagree from outside of like Planned Parenthood or whatever. I don't care.
Real.
Yeah. And I don't have a strong legal stance. I would obviously vote in accordance with my current views. So
Yeah.
I'd vote for pro-life legislation, but I am
as
not
Trump.
Sorry?
Such as Trump.
I mean, Trump isn't even pro-life, but
Yeah, baby, so real. Nobody's.
I know there's some people on this app that are abolitionists and they're staunchly against, there being.
Yeah.
No,
Wait,
Glock.
also, have you guys noticed that that semantic shift? Like, I debated pro-life like maybe a couple years ago. Sorry, 1 second.
Just kill the thing, bro. Abort it.
Oh my God.
Too late at that point. It's already playing with a toy.
It's not too late.
Yeah, so I just moved it closer.
Abort the
So
life.
wait, 1 second.
Abort
Can you
the
hear me
life.
okay? Or no?
I can hear you.
Okay, yeah,
Somewhat.
so there's been a semantic shift, I guess. I was debating pro-choice a few years ago, and I like kind of left the debate space and I came back, and it seems like there's this weird shift in semantics where pro-choice means willy-nilly, pro-life means pro-choice, and abolitionist means pro-life.
Oh, something
Yeah.
like that.
That shift,
Yeah.
the shift
Pro-
happened because the religious pro-lifers wanted to separate themselves and recognize that they want a national ban.
Yeah.
Actually, some pro-life people have exceptions, and they consider those exceptions being pro-choice, which is silly.
No,
Don't
bro,
they
it's just
also
like
believe
pro-choice
in
light.
God's will?
I don't know.
No, like
Do they not believe in that sort of thing? Because my take on it is if it's God's will, and that's the way it's supposed to be, and if people are supposed to learn and gain knowledge throughout their life, wouldn't it be more beneficial to humanity to actually use stem cell research to actually help the people that are alive on this planet and help
Greatest
them live a
2021
better life for
greatest
people
2021
that come?
They're gonna believe in something like this is like well, I mean, obviously I can't speak for all of them. A lot of them are going to make notions of like this is going to be like profane science that's in opposition to God's will, like supported by the devil or like led by like forces of evil.
So they get to pick and choose whether or not it's God's will, or whether or not they want to. Put
Yeah,
their
brother. Like
consents in?
you've debated Christians before. You know that's the case.
Oh Lord, yes.
W Christians.
I think Catholicism is on top me personally.
Do as I say, not as I do.
Circumcising unwilling babies, right?
Exactly.
Wait! I don't want to get it off topic, right?
Sorry.
We've exhausted like I think that as far as like the flow argument that Apostle rendered, I understand it, and if you're busy, Glock, thank you for stopping by. I'm not
That's okay.
forcing you off. Yeah, I just don't want to like get caught in the weeds on circumcision.
Yeah, like you could probably look up. I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong, Glock. Is this paper why abortion is immoral, or is it
The one I'm writing?
No, Don Marquis. His paper for flow.
Why abortion is immoral? Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Like you can find it. You can
I'll look that up for sure. I'll read it.
Is it on Phil Papers?
I don't know. I'm sure.
Oh, okay.
I can look on that.
Yeah, you can find it.
It's kind of a waste of a paper. It's my least favorite paper about flow. Obviously, he originated.
I think it gives introduction. I think it gives a good.
Yeah, it's a good introduction, but I mean, he seemed. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
Oh, it's a good introduction, but if you are more philosophically inclined, it might not be in. You'll still have a bunch of questions. So.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't like at first when I read the paper, I accepted a lot of Don Marquis said, but I don't know. As I've read other papers, I've kind of rejected a lot of what Don Marquis said in his initial paper.
Dude, what I was thinking about like in preparation for this conversation is like it's crazy the amount of time it took for like pro-life to be like I'm for life like ours, flow, boom. Let's get an argument about that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think a lot of them before were very much like religious based, and I don't think this was very. I don't think it's convinced a lot of people.
I think that flow does a lot of work to convince people who are like philosophically minded or like
Not even that, like
secular minded.
Yeah, if someone has just has an inclination towards flow, I think like if they have just like if they have a baseline view, like they haven't even read the paper, they're not philosophically inclined. I think a lot of people come to flow, maybe not even through abortion. And I feel like a lot of people if someone asks me, like let's say I have like a family friend, right, and they like decided they want to get an abortion, right, and they like decided to have a talk with me one day, and they're just like, I'm thinking of abortion. What do you think? Like, I know you're pro-life, so like, what your perspective and all that. I'll give them like FLO, but I won't like make it like all that. Like I won't exactly take what Don Marquis said. I would like give like generally
Yeah.
like I think it's very like intuitive to people who aren't philosophically
So
inclined and people who are philosophically inclined.
maybe you touched on something there that maybe you weren't saying this, but it reminded me of something that I hold, which is like I think a lot of vegans are quick to like ruin their social circles with like you see your friend and you wanna make change, so you like are always like talking down on your friend about their ethics, right? When really, if you could just advocate in other ways, maybe your intermediate social circle won't align with your view, but you can still have those friendships that are worth it without.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
So
think it's fine.
are you
I
saying
think
that kind of like if your like family member like came to you about like the ethical decision of like going through a procedure of like in utero, you'd be like, okay, this is what I think, but like it's kind of up to you, but like
no,
come
I
on.
wouldn't say it's up. I wouldn't say it's. I wouldn't say it's up to them because then they're thinking I'm pro-choice. I would just give like FLO, but not an argumentative way. Just like a very very
Like an
casual.
informative way.
Yeah, like informative. Like
Okay,
this is
yeah.
what
So
I
it's like
think.
I can run name the trade on my friend, and as soon as I recognize it's getting heated, I can just tone it down.
Yeah, like I mean, like if you're vegan, you could just like appeal to like, oh, I see no difference.
Wait, Apostle, you're cutting out if you're still speaking.
I
Yeah.
am.
Hey, just real quick, right
You're
here,
good.
right now, you owe me $1,000, and I'm here for that.
I owe you $500, and
A
that's still up for
thousand.
debate.
That's 1,000,
What
and
happened?
I'm here for
He's
that.
cooked. He's cooked.
Yeah.
He
Hey,
turned
go.
into a fucking fallacy spam machine, and I called him out on it, and then he bet me $1,000 while I was reading the actual definition for what the fallacy was. That what I was reading was not the case, and he then we looked it up, had host look it up, and yeah, admitted it, and now
Wait,
he's relying on.
Don't
Well,
don't.
you
Oh
may
my
not have
god.
Wait,
accepted the bet.
love. I thought it was supposed to be my definition versus your definition, and if you're admitting just now that you were reading the definition, you cheated in the bet, right?
No, that's not a
Oh
cheat.
no.
You
Oh,
didn't
he's
say I
cooked.
Oh
couldn't. You didn't
fuck.
say I couldn't read
Oh
it.
no. Oh no.
You didn't say it didn't. It wasn't. Hey, based on your fucking memory, it was. Hey, what's the definition?
This guy.
Gambling's illegal.
Kind of
Anyway,
cooked.
anyway.
Kind of cooked.
I think
'cause
with
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't think you're allowed to make bets on TikTok.
no,
No,
Anyway,
I
gambling
would
on this
afford
app
everyone
is
in here now.
illegal.
it
yeah,
was
veganism. I think when we come to like talking to people with veganism, I don't think we have to ruin our relationships. I think we could talk to these people, like we can name the trait, but do it in a very like subtle and not like argumentative way. Like we could say
Oh,
something
so
like,
you want to factory farm the mentally handicapped? It's like whoa.
oh, yeah, no,
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
no,
Well,
like,
that'll
you-
shut
oh,
conversation
so-
down real fucking fast.
Oh, so if the people in Germany were tasty, you'd have 6 million hamburgers? Yeah.
yeah, something like that,
Yeah.
That's just gonna get you fucking sad and alone. Is all that's gonna do.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like I see so
No,
many vegans who
no,
are
I mean like,
who are
By
I
the
mean,
way,
like,
I'm not a
when you
vegan,
talk
so
to
I'm
these
just laughing at
people-
girls' jokes because they're actually fucking funny.
they're good.
when you-
but it's like,
I'm not
it's like
part of your in crowd.
Vegans will feel like they need to make change, and they'll look at their best friend of like 17 years and go, "You fucking wow." could you?"
Leftists, well,
Could
leftists
you?
do the exact same thing. Like
Yeah,
leftists
I
are
hate
so
that,
quick.
bro.
Same dude. I'm like, you are killing the goddamn movement for your fucking.
Wait, your girlfriend, come up. I need a vouch. I was talking about well, we were talking about pro-choice yesterday, and then somebody goes, "You guys aren't women, so you can't speak on it." I'm like, okay,
Fuck you.
that's valid, but you better stop talking about racism. You better stop talking about like you support gay people if you're not
Real.
gay. You better stop
Real.
talking about like sexism, right? You better
Real.
just don't talk about it.
you know what? If you're not God, don't talk about God either.
Exactly.
Can we get that on a T-shirt, please?
You're not
God, don't
an
talk about
AR-15, so stop talking about the Second Amendment.
Exactly. That's what
Yeah.
I'm saying.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people with no talent would be out of a job.
Yeah.
You're not a pronoun. Don't talk about pronouns and gender theory.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yo, what do you guys think about that chat as a pronoun?
Chat is a
Chat
pronoun.
is a
Like,
pronoun.
talking, yeah. Chat
Well,
as in
wait, hang
referring
on.
to the
No,
group of
wait,
people.
yeah. No, depending on how like you're referencing it, like you can talk about chat as a noun, but in reference to specific like grammatical structure, it's definitely a pronoun.
Yeah, that's
So-
real.
in the exact same way that they or them is a pronoun that references multiple people.
I'm actually they them right now.
Yeah, I'm like he then because I don't like God.
Okay, bro.
I'm a fucking heathen as well. That's because I'm drunk off of.
Okay,
I'm absolutely blitzed off of mead right now. Which, hang on, wait, it's not vegan, so fuck you all.
That's not very kind. You know what? I think your life, your rights should just be taken away after that.
I think that you should.
Boom. I wonder what he thought.
Wait, just kicking people.
I kicked him. Yeah. You can come back up, Jack. But
This is A tier. This is A tier host.
He said. I say he sounds like Shia LaBeouf on Air Duster. Wait till you hear it.
Real.
You rat bastard.
You hear that?
It's not very kind. That's not very kind. I think you should be more kind.
I don't believe in kindness.
What if you were talking to a mentally disabled, someone with BPD, someone with ADHD?
I would look at them very kindly and be like, "You're a rat bastard too." You know that because I believe in treating people equally.
That's
Well,
real.
you should always keep aluminum foil in your pocket.
Wait, Jack.
I don't know
Do
about
you mean equality of opportunity or equality of outcome?
Equality and abuse.
Opportunity.
Yeah, this guy had to think about it. He's kicked. I'm just kidding.
Equality and abuse. Trust.
This guy's
brother.
you're a
I'm
nihilist,
blitzed
bro.
right.
You're not a
I'm
real
absolutely blitzed right now. I had
Wait,
to figure out
Apostle.
what the fuck you were saying.
Apostle. And your bio says you're leaning right. Is that politically?
Or are you physically leaning to the right?
Like not like my political stance. I'm not like Trump, but
Oh,
I
so
lean
like
towards,
you're like you've got a
I
lane
lean
right
towards
leg.
authoritarian government.
Oh, gross.
So and then I assume like leaning right means that at some point you weren't, and now you're changing a little bit to the right.
No, I'm not like. No, I'm saying I'm not completely right.
So you drive a Prius, but you have a pew-pew rack in the backseat.
Something like that.
Yeah. Shit like that.
Wait, hang on. That's compatible with being on the far left.
Yo, this man said, "Gotta go."
It is facts.
I mean, like I'm about as left gets, and I'm armed to the.
You're libertarian?
Teeth. No, what libertarian? Gross. That's pseudo Republican.
That's pseudo Republican. Okay, piece of work.
That's a Republican that hates age of consent laws.
Wait. What does Sneeko have to do with this?
Well, you know.
Why bring up Sneeko?
Sneeko.
Do you ever look at somebody on the internet and you're like, you're super popular, but I could absolutely suplex you into the earth?
No, because I don't have toxic masculinity.
Guys, I think we should all be toxic in our masculinity.
I think we should too.
I think
we should use suplexing as a way to measure
this. I think
this.
we should be suplexing women who don't stay in their lane.
I actually, you know what? Hang on. I think we need to start by suplexing.
My lane is pretty wide. Are you sure? Are you sure?
If you're gender non-binary, if you're gender non-conforming, we got to start with suplexing you, just because you're sitting on the fence.
Real.
It's like make a decision.
I love anti-choice. I don't like people getting choices.
What'd you say, Dargo?
Well, you're anti-choice, right?
Well, hold on, dude. Whoa.
Yep.
I don't believe choices exist. This is just.
Are you do you believe in determinism?
We're talking about normal.
I am a hard determinist as well.
Are you also eternalist?
Yes.
Oh.
Wait, A theory or B theory, Apostle?
Wait, what?
A theory or B theory?
B theory.
B theory, but we experience life linear.
I'm going fucking weird. I'm gonna say presentism just to fuck with everyone.
That's A theory.
That's actually so real. Wait, that's so real.
Aren't
A theory and presentism are not the same thing.
They are.
No, they're not. No, they're not. Go do some fucking reading.
Shit.
No, you're lacking on your reading, Sonny.
Wait, Robbie has a GED and he told me. So
WGED.
Dargon, what were you going to ask me, buddy?
I gotta wait. Go ahead.
Jack, you said something about non-binary being
on the fence. I was being wildly sarcastic.
I think if you're non-binary,
yeah, cool.
not exist.
Yeah, Jack, are you a cis het man?
I mean, by definition of those words, I sure am.
Are you a cis white male who's also straight?
That's crazy.
You
That's
know
crazy.
what?
That's
I
crazy.
sure the fuck
That's
am.
crazy that
Oh,
you're
you're so
piping up right now.
homophobic. You're homophobic. You hate women.
Yeah. Women are just
I'm a
feminine.
certified wife lover. So like,
Not gonna lie, women
check your
are
shit.
second. Wait. Be for real. I think women are second class citizens. If you think about it.
Okay, so I'd like to say one thing real quick right here, right now. I just want to say real quick. I'm sorry. When you booted me last time, I did not realize. Oh, I love you. Hold on, you don't know when I'm pointing at the camera right now.
Are you also drunk while you're driving? Who's driving right now?
No, I'm not driving. I'm not driving, but yes, I am drunk.
I am.
Wait, you're on a
skateboard?
No.
Bro is drunk driving
No, I'm
on
not-
TikTok live right now.
I am not. Hold on. No. I am certainly not.
Hey, stop. Hey, nobody's saying the bad words on my live, okay? Stop.
Oh,
Exactly.
Every live I do gets taken down.
This is a Christian.
Well, that's because
life.
you're an agent of fucking chaos. That's why. TikTok knows you. They've
First
got
of
a
all,
fucking.
Jack, why bring
fallacy
Asians in
spammer.
TikTok has a picture of you
that's
up at
funny.
headquarters. Is like, you see this dude, you take him down.
You said I'm an Asian
Hey,
of chaos?
right here, right now. I just need my $1,000. That's it.
Yeah, as soon as AR releases the video that proves that our semantics.
AR is writing you.
Oh my god. Wait, free him. He's innocent.
Free my boy.
Free my boy Butter doing life in the box.
Wait, hang on. Also, we established earlier that AR is in favor of Diddy parties, so maybe we shouldn't be platforming
I am
AR.
too.
What happened?
Hey, Jack, you can talk about it some other time, man. Stop saying those words, okay?
Okay.
Mr. D was innocent. Prove me wrong.
Hey, love, I didn't kick you.
He is
I'm gonna shake
riding
my
your
hands.
Doc Hollish all the way
I'm gonna
into
shake my
town.
hands.
I know somebody else will kick me. It's fine.
Okay.
I don't like this guy.
I like seeing your hands. Now show me your feet next.
You charge money for those, sweetie.
Bro's
I
definitely.
want to see your pigs. Show me the fucking pigs.
You gotta what's the Wikipedia page for feet? You gotta go find me there.
I can smell them.
Love, do you have a Feed Finder account?
Ew.
No, my feet have been
right.
found.
He stopped driving under the influence and started requesting the feet.
Well, that's the natural progression. After you crash your like 2012
This is
Buick,
evolution. This was
ditch.
evolutionary line.
Hey, Sticks, tell me how to make emojis or feet pics now, and I'll do it. Okay, I'll do it just for you. You're my only subscriber.
I want to
Some
see.
advice on this real quick. The market is saturated with pretty feet. You need to take the nastiest ones you can. That's
Oh,
where the real
Exactly. Why do you think
Brother,
I'm skin for his?
I've got some ideas for you.
Oh no.
I want to see that Widow's Peak in action, boy.
Hey, love, let's get a hairline. Let's get a hairline reveal.
I want to see that Widow's Peak bobbing and weaving, boy.
My hairline is not scared of a 3-guard. Yours is. Okay.
A 3-guard.
Yeah.
Dang, push it back further.
Bro, first of all, hold on. My hairline is nice. I don't know what you're
Hairline
talking about.
reveal.
Second of all, no, I'm not. I don't go on camera. bro.
No,
I'm
wait,
too
no, I
cowardly.
busted that. Wait. Actually,
I'm too cowardly. I'm too much of a coward. If you pay me my $1,000, I'll go on camera.
I don't believe you.
You shouldn't believe
Wait,
me.
I want that as a contract.
Do you pinky promise?
I pinky promise.
Okay, hold it out. Okay, lock.
I'm
Kiss your
holding
thumb.
something out.
Wait, love, is it as small as a pinky? By chance?
Is it small as a pinky? It's smaller.
I want to know what your phalangeal fluid choices are.
Is it atomic?
It's quarkish.
Hey, Debs.
Is it string? You sure it's not string?
I mean, it's at this point. I don't know if it's even theoretical.
This guy.
Look.
Are you sure you're not a woman?
I'm too.
By chance?
Hold on. What is a woman?
Hey, love.
I would just say it's someone who thinks they're a woman. Clearly.
Well, then, I mean, possibly. What does think mean? I take think to mean
don't
something
let him
that
do this.
think
Love,
doesn't mean.
love. Hey, love. Do you want to debate me on a prompt? Because I'll smoke
Linguistic
you as
phalangical
soon as
fluid.
you're up for it.
I think I'm alpha male.
That's awesome, man.
Wait, love, do you think you're alpha
phalangical
male?
fluid.
Like,
I don't know if I'm
No,
supposed
bro,
to be
I'm-
getting angry or
I'm
if
super
I'm supposed to be chilling
sigma
right now,
beta,
so,
zeta, kappa.
Yeah, your cap
Hotel.
for sure.
Bro, the only thing I'm not cap about is the fact that you owe me $1,000.
Look.
And once you get me that rack back,
I need some evidence. Wait. Give me that 1,000. I think I deserve 1,000. I mean, I give you. I'm very, very, very kind man. I think I deserve it.
I thought you said you were a they them.
I think
he code switches.
I don't know anymore. I don't know anymore. I think I'm fluid.
Yeah, he code switches when it's convenient.
Wait, like
It's called
H2O?
freeloaders.
No,
I'm
like
just, gender fluid. You know.
I don't know actually what the chemical composition of alcohol is, but I was going to use it.
I had a sock that I filled with gender fluid.
Kutski, what did you say?
What kind? What species, I should say.
How do you kick the host?
I wish we could.
Wait, somebody say my name?
Yeah, we did.
I am him.
We've been asking.
That's my
We've been asking you questions for 30 minutes
I am
now. You haven't
fucking
answered
him.
one of them.
I really think that might have
You know, as
Wait,
a
Tradition
parent,
Embracer, I've wanted to talk to you for a while.
what?
There's a guy, Tradition Embracer, who has like pretty egregiously, if I'm remembering properly, maybe it's a different person, but has like pretty egregiously sexist backgrounds that he likes to debate on.
Oh, let's hear it.
Fuck yeah, let's go.
I might be wrong.
Is it
that
okay
you,
to be
Tradition
sexist?
Embracer?
Is it okay to be
I don't know.
sexist if you're a fucking jabroni? Sure.
Wait,
What's a
background do you
jabroni?
have?
Is that like a slur?
Wait, sorry, love. You're gonna have to mute if you're up here, okay?
I want to debate. Okay, fine. Fuck it.
Oh, if you
Whatever.
want to debate, you should have said that before I brought up Tradition Embracer.
I did say that,
Hey,
but I read phalangical fluid and started laughing at it, and you kicked me for it.
I didn't.
That
I
was
didn't kick
hilarious. Okay, well,
kick you.
somebody kicked me.
I
Somebody
kicked you
me.
without my
Tradition
mod
Embracer.
powers.
Wait. What's the prompts on your backgrounds usually? It's like women know your place or something, right?
I know. I might have had like gender roles are good on my background or something like that.
Oh, okay, yeah. What? So like gender roles? Does that mean that you accept like a gender sex distinction?
I don't think they're identical. Like I think they're kind of like two different levels to a pattern. So they're inextricably connected, but they're not like identically. Yeah,
Can I be honest with you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I immediately like you more than I thought I was going to.
Thank you. Oh, good to hear.
I don't know what that says about me, but I'm honest, okay? Anyway,
I kind of want to talk to him.
It says you look. What it says about you is that you look a lot like that super right wing comedian that got yelled at for saying things about Puerto Ricans.
Pre-soap?
I look like
No.
Kill Tony?
Is that his name? Yeah. The fucking
You
Weasley
mean
looking dude.
unalive Tony?
The Weasley looking dude that did a Trump rally.
I don't think I look like that guy.
I think you do.
Bro, he looks like a cross between that guy and Doc Holliday from Tombstone.
Oh,
Look.
actually, good call.
Look.
With
Look.
a worse hairline.
My hairline's amazing.
Brother, the toupee doesn't count.
Oh, I do have a toupee. How'd you know that? Usually people can't tell.
I know lots.
Bro, because I finished in it one time.
Oh, God.
Wait. Okay,
You were
sorry.
asleep.
They call Love, his nickname in college was Yellow Light because he got ran through.
Bro, it was green light. What do you mean?
Yeah, Tradition Embracer. I do want to talk to you about like something if you don't if you don't have time, that's fine, but I would like to talk to somebody who thinks differently than me, and you seem to.
I think differently than you.
Yeah,
Why are you running?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but you're also an attention begging
That's true.
Yeah, okay, cool, yeah.
That's true.
What do you mean by somebody who thinks differently than you?
Not the same.
Brother, you're normally
Yeah.
on lithium. Lots of people think differently than you.
You understand right here, right now that me and you both being attention whores is how we think the same, right?
I agree.
Okay. I just want to make sure we're on the same page there.
Is it
Hand
really
me my
the
rack
same
and I'll start
for
treating you like a human being.
those?
Everybody else have a good day. I'm out.
Hold
love you.
up.
Bye.
No. Have a good night.
What?
It's not the
Cute.
same. It can't be the same. Because it's for completely different reasons.
Did you say you have to have a rack or you won't treat them like a human being?
He said
That's
he's
exactly
getting
what
a
it
says. I
rack
owe
and
him
then he can be
$1,000.
treating him a human being.
He can buy his freedom for $1,000 is what I'm saying.
Oh, I thought you were going to get a boob job.
I was going
Wait,
to ask how long. I
what
was
did
going
you
to ask
guys
how
debate,
large they
Pixie?
have to be to count as a human. Like, at what point
That's funny.
do you determine that they're a human?
What's that? Once he pays me my $1,000.
Wait, hang on. Did you ask it what cup size do we determine that they're human?
Well, that's actually a really good
I
question.
think also
Jackdaw,
is
thank you
that
for.
he said
I think we should drop that person for being sexist.
Yeah, it would be nice if we could drop the sexist people for being sexist. That would be really dope. It's starting to get a little crazy.
Wait, thinks doesn't think women should have the right to vote. So should we drop
Yeah,
her?
right. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
what I think, right?
That's what I was saying.
Who just dropped 605 coins on me? That is crazy.
That's hilarious.
I think
they're still dropping more.
Roses smells good.
okay. So wait, tradition. You said W fixes.
Yeah, I like fixes.
I like it. Wait, my live goals achieved. Thanks. Okay. Wait, do you want to debate about something, Tradition Embracer? Because
Yeah, like what topic did you? Like, is there any certain topic you would like to talk about?
yeah, do you like you were saying something, and I said, remember my comment? I said username checks out.
Oh yeah, that was a couple comments.
Yeah, I said it twice because you said two things that I was like, that is a tradition.
I said the Enlightenment was a mistake, and that the Industrial Revolution was a mistake.
Oh right, and I said, do you live outside? And you said no.
Real quick. I promise. This is my last sentence, and I'm out. I got blamed for something that Jackdaw said, and it was hilarious. I also thought it was hilarious, but I got blamed for asking at which cup size they're human, and that was what Jackdaw asked. I didn't ask that.
You were talking about a rack like $1,000 worth of money.
Yeah, no, I was talking about Iraq. Yes, exactly. And then Cleo said something, and then he said Jackdaw said that shit, and they were like, "I can't believe this Love Fixes guy is so sexist." And then I got dropped
the idiot
for it.
mishearing, and I'm sorry for that.
I was just saying, no, I thought it was hilarious. I thought he brought up a great point. But anyways, y'all have a great one.
I thought he brought up a great point. It's just to misunderstand the point, Love. Thanks. Bye. Yeah, I said, do you live outside? And you said no. And then I said, turn off your phone then, you stinky weirdo. Remember that?
Oh, I missed that. I missed that one. But,
oh, yeah. I said, do you live outside? You said no. And I said, get off your phone then, you stinky weird. Are you stinky hypocrite? That's what I said.
No, that's a good point. That's funny. But
yeah. Because like,
yes, I mean, like I guess like I'm a traditionalist, which isn't the same as like a primitivist. So like, I think it's. Obviously, like it's a good point if I'm saying that if I'm saying the Industrial Revolution was a mistake. It is a fair point to maybe say that I shouldn't be using a phone. But like, obviously people like were civilized and lived in buildings and houses before then.
But is it good that you Is it good that you use a phone?
I'm on the fence about it. Like, there's obvious benefits, but I'm not sure. It's not clear to me that they like outweigh like the drawbacks. Like for example, like the way that blue light affects our neurology, and just like the way that people, like including myself, kind of get addicted to like looking at the phone and social media and things like that. Whereas I think before cell phones, it seems like people had like more productive hobbies. Like perhaps they would spend their time like doing some kind of like woodwork or like reading or just like almost anything else.
What about like
socializing with people in person, face to face?
What about somebody whose hobby was just like they really like throwing a frisbee? Like that's not productive, but it doesn't involve technology. Is that a go or no go for you?
Well, even in the sense of just like the fact that you're moving is at least beneficial in some sense. Like you're moving, you're probably outside, getting sunlight. I don't know, like maybe you're even like practicing some kind of coordination. So like certain things like that might seem like superficial on their face, but like there's like certain things that we take for granted about like simple things, like even like throwing a frisbee, I would say.
I think a lot of what you're saying is cool, but I think that like I don't know, like let's say that there's some in the future we have medical advancements, right? And you could take a pill and it could build your muscle while you sleep, and then you could that like matrix oatmeal, you could eat that and it has all your nutrients, right? And then you could just be you could be like, and then after that you could go into this experience machine and you could have any experience that you wanted. Are you saying that the guy that goes outside and like I don't know, like levels out the gravel in his driveway is like living a better life because he's outside like using hand-eye coordination with a shovel or something?
Yeah, I do think so. Yeah, I do think so. Like, I guess I would say there's more virtue in it. Like, I don't know. Like, it just doesn't seem like virtuous to me. Like let's say we have like fully automated communism. I don't have to do anything. I have an IV drip. I have an IV drip that constantly sedates me with like whatever my drug of choice is. And I have a robot. I like a robot that gives like pleasures me whenever I want, and like I can literally just like lay down on my bed and
You
do
sound
nothing.
happy. Not gonna lie. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, but like it's like hedonic. It's like a hedonic happiness that like you're not gonna you're not gonna achieve like eudaimonic happiness that way, which I think is like the ultimate kind of
What's the second kind of happiness you said there?
Eudaimonic.
Eudaimonic or unimonic?
Eudaimonic. I mean,
Okay.
people say it differently, but
No, I've never heard that word.
yeah, I see. Yeah,
So
it's like
so is it like the opposite of hedonistic, where it's like instead of like it's like self-sacrifice or something?
not necessarily. Like, I don't know if I'm going to be the best at articulating like what eudaimonic happiness is. It's like a more fulfilling kind of happiness, like as in, like, let me think. Like it's like a type of happiness that I guess emerges from like industrious behavior and like altruistic sorts of actions, things like that. Like it's somewhat widely, it's like relatively widely known in psychology that like one of the best things you can do like for your happiness is to help somebody else, which is like is counterintuitive to a lot of people, because a lot of people just kind of want to, I guess, pursue pleasure like more directly, but then like it's not like it's like so they'll derive some kind of like short-term happiness from it, but it doesn't endure, and then they have to like keep doing whatever it is that gives them pleasure in order to sustain this. But like eudaimonic pleasure is like more, it's more sustaining. It's not, I don't know, it's like less superficial, I guess.
Okay, so it's like some kind of like virtuous like like pleasure that although feels good can also like have some utility or something. I'm trying to understand. I really am.
I mean, yeah, I mean, there's utility. I mean, I don't know if it would be utility. I guess it would be like some kind of inadvertent utility. Yeah.
Okay. Let me see. So, I guess I don't see why you would inherently value, like, let's say the experience machine, after you like get whatever nutrients you want from your IV drip, and then get your like bio nutrient rich oatmeal or whatever. Let's say you plug into that experience machine and you just say, today I want to learn how to be virtuous, or I want to learn how to be like courageous, or I want to learn how to be like more trusting, or more I'm trying to think of like no offense, but like traits that I think that you would admire. Like, how do I be a better leader, or how do I be a better like scavenger for if at one point I don't have this machine, and let's say it can teach you all those things without having to like break your back and with labor. What would be the point of acquiring your virtues through that method rather than like the real way? Yeah, Cleo, you can ask.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
Can I ask kind of a clarifying question? That's
appreciate
kind
the
of a
honesty.
return.
Go ahead, Cleo.
Why do you think that necessarily like physical labor is better contributor to like the well-being of others or necessarily more altruistic, and that you can't engage in altruistic behaviors through technologically mediated means, like through a phone.
Oh no, you definitely can. Yeah, you definitely can. I don't necessarily believe that you can't. Obviously, I can like send somebody, I can send a poor person like money through PayPal or something like right now, and I think that would be a good thing.
Thank you guys for the gifts. This is yeah, that's kind of like what I was saying. I appreciate your honesty, tradition embracer. Which is like if you can achieve these eudaimonic goals through some, they fix the blue light thing, they fix the attention deficit thing that screens cause. Now you can just sit your kid in a chair, right, and they can learn how to be more responsible in a way that when they get out of the chair, they can be a reliable like takeouter of trash or like dishwasher or something. Like they can provide value to your family unit or something. Why is it inherently worse if they learn through the I'm just going to call it the communism machine, okay? Why is it inherently worse if they learn through the communism machine than through like shoveling gravel or something?
I don't know. Like I mean, like if you're just like stipulating, that it's like just as effective and achieves all the same things, then I don't know if I can give an answer. Like you're stipulating, like I guess it's logically possible that this machine can do all of those good things. Then I might not be able to contend with it. But I would just say, like I think it's
right
both,
now. It's not. That's not the way, right?
Yeah, like I think it's physically and metaphysically impossible.
Yeah, but I think that but in the same way that like I think a calculator is a better teacher than an abacus, right? I think that like given enough time, we're gonna find easier ways. Well, not easier, more efficacious ways of imbuing skills and traits and knowledge, right?
Yeah, well, I agree with that.
So
I
then,
guess the communism scene. I guess it just seems kind of like dehumanizing because it like sort of like I guess it sort of like really like takes part of our nature away from us. I guess
but all these traits that you're going to point to say that these are the traits that humanize us. The communism machine, right? There's no reason it can't imbue us with those natures.
Mm-hmm.
So, and if we're agreeing that that's possible, and even maybe likely, because like calculators are better than like lines in the sand or something.
Can you explain that? I didn't really understand what you said.
Yeah, so
a calculator is a better teacher than an abacus.
Yeah, I think because like if we're trying to teach complicated mathematics, you can use like a chalkboard, right? But you can also use like a graph. Or you can use a slideshow, or you can use like a video. Like Mitch, the scientist, posts like TikToks of like, somebody dissecting a brain, but it's digital, right? I think that explaining it is going to be a less efficacious way of teaching that. So if we're agreeing that some form of digital intervention is going to enhance the human experience, right? And if appealing to tradition takes us away from that because it discourages like technological like innovation or something, then it seems like the things you actually care about are being fought against if you appeal to tradition. Would you say that, tradition embracer?
Maybe, but I think sometimes it can be kind of hard to it can be hard to like really grasp like why certain things are the way that they are. Like we might think something is kind of like a meaningless. We might think like we might write something off as like sort of like a meaningless tradition, and then like there could we don't understand like the rhyme or reason as to, like why things are done like the way that they are, and then because we don't understand the reason, like we almost like appeal to incredulity in the sense that like if we don't understand a reason for something being the way that it is, then we just like tend to assume that there isn't that there isn't a reason like for it being that way.
Yeah, so I think like there's some fear of like losing skills that we care about or something. Is that kind of like a little bit adjacent to what you're saying?
Yeah, well, like a couple good examples, I guess would be like I guess like traditional traditional methods of like food preservation.
Yeah.
It was more it was like more common like the traditional means of food preservation, for example, like was often like cultured foods, and then like after like around like after like the mid 20th century, like we began like mass producing foods like in a more like industrial kind of way.
Yeah, like,
And then
like
we, then we
they used to like wrap food up and then submerge it deep at the bottom of lakes, right?
like
Like
yeah,
to
well,
like to
yeah, I
preserve
know they
meat or
preserve
something.
water that
Yeah.
way,
Yeah.
but but like so like preserving food by means of like culturing it is like it's a better way to preserve it, because obviously it's it promotes like the flourishing of like the gut microbiota. Then like when we started like industrially like preserving food, we actually like did like the exact opposite thing. In other words, like we preserved it by putting in preservatives that were intentionally
They
like
destroyed
put
the
there.
bad, but they destroyed the
Yeah,
good also.
yeah, to kill bacteria, because obviously the purpose is to have a long shelf life. And then like
Yeah.
obviously like we didn't really know about the gut microbiome like during that time. So
Yeah.
then we consume that food. Then we're
You're
consuming
saying
the
so you're
preservative
saying
too. Then
like
it kills the
unfortunately like
yeah, like it kills the gut bacteria on its way through you. So certain things like we don't understand like the virtue of certain things, like just because we can't really like break it down. We can't like descriptively break it down in some kind of in scientific terms, but there are like reasons like why things are the way that they are. And then it's the same goes the other way. Like when we make some kind of modification, like we're not really sure what the consequences are going to be until it's implemented, because we don't really like we never really had this complete like holistic understanding of in terms of like how the body works, how the environment works. Because like that's the other thing, like traditionalism kind of commits me to being like a radical like an environmentalist
I have a question.
as well. Yeah.
Yeah, so do you think that, maybe it was just like a being out of order thing? Like if we would have discovered the importance of the gut biome or something, right?
Hmm.
Before we discovered how to mass produce food, do you think that we would have taken steps then to protect the good without the bad?
Maybe like if we understood like the extent to which it was important, then perhaps. But even then, I'm not sure, because some people will like a lot of people will admittedly like just prioritize whatever's like kind of like economically expedient, or whatever just like requires like
Yeah.
less work. Because
Just
I
I
mean
want it
people,
now.
yeah, I mean people become accustomed like to the like the proportion of their like the proportion of your labor that goes towards feeding you now compared to like 100 years ago. It's like such a drastic difference. Like even when we look at like recent like food increases, like people complain about that, but even still it's like relatively like the amount of labor that people have to expend in order to eat is still like relatively low compared to what it was for like the most of human history. And people have kind of like acclimated to that. So some people I think
Wait,
I, so some
I
people
guess
might not
wait.
care.
I think we're getting like way off track here. I just want to bring it back to like if are you afraid that like if technology, if we like have a dependency on technology, we'll forget in the event of like some technological failure, we won't be able to like be as well off.
I mean that's another big part of it. Yeah.
Yeah, so let's say like like Ready Player One.
What is that? A video game or?
It's like the movie, like with the virtual reality. It's like the communism machine, but like there's like haptic gloves where you can feel stuff and like everything. If you just like if you taught your kids right how to make a friction fire, and they're in there making a friction fire in VR, that's just photo real. Like what's the worry of them not being able to make a friction fire in the event of some like EMP or something?
Oh, I don't. I mean, I guess if it's like if it's exactly the same, then I guess yeah, there wouldn't necessarily be
So
a
my question
concern.
is like, what reasons do you have that technology won't reach a point to where we can like what reason do you have to think that technology won't reach the point that we can gain virtuous human nature like qualities that you value And why fight against them if you don't have a good reason for that?
Well, because in the meantime, we're going to be like losing like, a lot of the virtues and benefits of doing things in the traditional way, and the other part of it would be like I don't think technology ever will be able to like fully recreate any of those things. Like I think like as far for like I think the world is effectively like irreducibly complex. Like it might not literally be irreducibly complex, but like in the sense of like our ability to like recreate like those things, I think it is like we're just never going to be able to.
What's virtue and why is it important in this case?
Like good moral character.
Yeah, can you explain to me what that is?
Yeah, like courage, bravery, modesty, generosity, temperance, things like that. Like those would be like some of the virtues.
Okay, so why are they important?
Because like they like if we act in alignment with the virtues, then we're simultaneously like adhering to our duties and like producing like beneficial outcomes, I would say.
So this whole thing is just like a subjective perspective that you have of like what you think people should be doing because of I don't really understand.
I'm gonna have to go in like 5 minutes. So,
well, yeah, we all have subjective perspectives, right? But I think I have reason to believe this.
Yes, the question he's asking is why should anybody accept that? Like, why should anybody adopt that school of thought?
Because I think it accurately subsumes like, what I just mentioned before, like duties and outcomes.
Yeah, why? Why would I? No, the question is why would we accept that system when there are other systems that might better track the way we actually perform in society every day?
What do you mean, like better track like the goodness or badness of the actions performed in society, or better track it how?
Yeah, by using any other more relevant ethical system that is more used today than anything else.
Well, because I don't think just because it is more used that it's necessarily better. Like,
I'm not saying it's better. I'm saying why should we accept yours over any other system?
Oh, because it's better. Obviously, because it's better.
Yeah, that's to beg the question. Why is it better?
Because it better accounts for intuitions we have, and it like subsumes like again both the duties and the outcomes like within the virtue.
Because I'm asking you, when I ask you why should anybody be motivated to accept this system, and you say, oh, because it's better. Well, clearly you're saying it's better. I got that from the first claim.
Well, then I elaborated after that, though.
You didn't elaborate how it's better. You just said it is better.
Yeah.
No, like it more simply subsumes again like the
how Eddie.
Because they're under one category, which would be the virtues instead
there
of having
other ethical systems that like operate using only like priority monism with like respect to ethics. There's like other systems that do that too. Why should I accept yours?
This just like to me, this just sounds like tag, but
well, you can give me almost any
this
case.
This just sounds like tag, but for like a virtue thing.
Right here, you're gonna hop off in 5 minutes. You said.
Yeah, in like 2 minutes I gotta go, but I'll be back on in like an hour.
All right.
Oh shit, that's some gingerbreads.
Real quick, hi.
Hey, Autumn, love you.
Love you.
Are you getting better at just throwing out "love you"?
Yes, I actually am. I've just been saying I love you to everybody.
Good.
And you made me more confident with it, so I appreciate you.
Yeah. Thanks. Yeah.
Now we can all love each other.
Tradition. I
hate that.
I understand like that your view is cool. Like it sounds cool, right? But I think like I raised some pretty novel objections that like if true, I like just seem to like counteract what you're fighting for, and then Cage pushing you on like why it's better. Maybe think about why it's better. Oh, thank you so much.
Thank
oh wait.
you.
Oh, that's to tradition embracer. That's crazy. That changed the whole thing. Anyway, but yeah, so the Cage also asking you why it's better, and like I think it's worth thinking about, right?
Yeah, well, I mean, I guess I need more clarification in terms of like what kind of explanation he's looking for. Because I think
I mean, you probably have a way to like flesh it out, but maybe there was just some like unclarity or something.
yeah, because like under the other views like deontology and util, like obviously like people usually implement some kind of like threshold in order to in order to account for the view and not have to like die on some bad hills. But I think it's
Wait,
more.
You don't think that you have to like take some hills?
Not really, no, because like I don't.
But you just took a hill where everything that you want is fixed with more technology, not less technology. How's that not a hill?
Well, that's not directly entailed. Like that's not really entailed by the normative framework. Like most virtue ethicists don't even agree with me on like the radical traditionalism stuff.
Yeah, and yeah, Cage, you're also right. Like saying, did you get dropped on purpose, Cage, or I thought you left on purpose. That's why. But yeah, so like most ethical frameworks, I think, like don't have some like threshold attached to them. Like threshold deontology exists, but like rule deontology exists. Like utilitarianism exists, but like yeah. So it's just not going to be the case that most moral systems fall into this thing where they have some threshold, right?
Yeah, I guess I might need a better understanding of some of those views. Like I think, like for some of the views, there could just be.
Do you have a normative ethic?
Wait, me?
Yeah.
Yeah, virtue ethics is my normative.
Yeah, but like just simplicator, like virtue ethics.
Wait, virtue ethics isn't a normative framework.
Yeah,
Wait, what are you talking about? Yes, it is.
It's a meta-ethical framework
It's
as to what being good is.
Yeah, it's like how you cash out the term good, not like what rules you go by or like.
The normative stance would be you should be virtuous, but the meta stance is that to be virtuous is to be good.
Yeah.
No, wait, normative. Wait, no, meta ethics would be like realism versus anti-realism. Normative framework would be.
Fuck! Do you think those are the only two?
You're way off tradition.
Wait, I'm not saying those are the only two. I'm saying you're making. I'm saying you're making a category error in terms of like you don't know what a normative framework is.
No. So normative. The word normative means like action guiding, right? It means, given that this is the case, you should act in this way. Like you should be motivated to act in this way. Your meta-ethical view is just going to say, when I say something is good, I just cash that word out to mean like it increases utility, or if everybody followed it as a general rule, the world would
produces virtue.
Exactly.
Things like that.
And these are the frameworks: virtue ethics.
I gotta go, guys. I'll be back on in like an hour. Sorry, love you.
You're wrong, Cage. You're wrong.